My best woman proposed to the maid of honor at my wedding, so I pretended to forgive her and waited a full year so I could announce our pregnancy at their wedding. My best woman proposed to the best man at my wedding, so I pretended to forgive her and waited a full year so I could announce our pregnancy at their wedding. I was getting married when my best friend decided to end her best woman speech by proposing to the best man. She pulled out an engagement ring and he strutted onto the stage. He started squealing, "Yes," and they passionately kissed. But when they stopped to look around, to their surprise, nobody was cheering for them. Instead, everybody started booing them. My mother, who was tipsy, walked up and whiplashed her open bottle of wine at them, soaking his suit and her dress, which was off-white in color, by the way. This inspired a few more people to do the exact same thing, leading to the best woman and the best man being completely drenched in beer and wine. His gelled hair was dripping and running down his face, and he literally ran out. The best woman followed him, and as a final act of foo, my mom stuck her foot out and made the best woman trip and faceplant on the venue floor. She got herself back up and sprinted out, and even though they were gone, the wedding was ruined. In the heat of the moment, I stood up and ran out, and when I saw the best woman and best man, I didn't hold back. They were both still soaked, standing awkwardly as if unsure what to do next. The best woman turned when she saw me coming, her eyes wide with a mix of guilt and disbelief. The best man stood close behind her, his once pristine suit a mess of spilled drinks and dripping gel. Before I could speak, she raised her hands. "Girl, this isn't fair," she blurted out, her voice shaky but defensive. "We didn't deserve that. I mean, we were just trying to do something special." I stopped in front of them, stunned by her words. She wasn't apologizing. She was making herself the victim. "You didn't deserve that? You hijacked my wedding, and now you're upset because people were mad about it?" She shook her head, frustration clear on her face. No, you don't get it. It wasn't supposed to go like this. We didn't mean to ruin anything. I thought people would be happy for us. I thought you'd be happy for me." I stared at her, barely able to process what I was hearing. "Happy for you? This was supposed to be about me and my husband's life, not you. But why can't it be both?" She shot back, her voice rising. "Why can't we share the moment? You're my best friend, girl. I figured you of all people would understand. This isn't just some random day for me either. I've been waiting for the right time to propose, and this felt perfect. He's the love of my life, just like your husband is to you." She sounded desperate now, like she truly couldn't understand why everything had gone wrong. Behind her, the best man sniffed, wiping at his stray face. He didn't say anything, but his eyes were locked on the ground, as if hoping to vanish. I took a deep breath, trying to hold back the surge of anger. "You thought this was the right time? At my wedding? You couldn't wait one day, not even until after the reception?" The best woman groaned, running a hand through her wet hair. "You're blowing this out of proportion. It was one little moment, and now everyone hates us. We got drenched in beer and wine like we're the villains. I thought we were family. I didn't expect this from you." I clenched my fists, the disbelief hitting me again. "You don't get to act like the victim here. You made this all about you, and now you're surprised people are upset?" She sighed, her shoulders slumping. I didn't think it would matter. I didn't think it would overshadow anything. I swear I didn't mean to ruin your day. I just wanted to make a memory too." I glared at her, my patience hanging by a thread. She still wasn't really sorry. She was just upset that things hadn't gone the way she imagined. She took a step back, looking down at the ground. "Look, I get it. You're angry. I didn't plan for this to blow up like it did, but I'm begging you, don't throw our friendship away over this. We've been through too much. I can't lose you over one mistake." I paused, staring at her for a long moment. She was still trying to make herself seem wronged, as if her selfishness wasn't the problem. "Maybe we shouldn't be around each other for a while," I finally said. "If you really think this was no big deal, then I don't know what else to say." She nodded slowly, her expression a mix of regret and frustration. "Fine, if that's what you want." Without another word, I turned and walked back inside, leaving them standing there. They had wanted to make a memory, and now they'd made one no one would forget. The texts started coming in right after the wedding. I sat with my husband in the living room, surrounded by the remnants of what was supposed to be our perfect day. My phone buzzed continuously, and each time I glanced at it, I saw her name, my best woman. The messages were relentless. "I'm really sorry. Please talk to me. I never meant for any of this to happen. Please don't hate me." I put the phone down with a heavy sigh. My husband, still in his wedding suit, looked at me with tired eyes. His hair was a mess from running his hands through it all night. "Is she texting you?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "Yeah," I said, rubbing my eyes. "She's sending message after message, apologizing." He shook his head in frustration. "Of course she is. She ruined our wedding, and now she's trying to play the victim." I didn't have the energy to argue. I just nodded. My mind was spinning with the events of the night. My wedding day had been taken over by her ill-timed proposal, and now she was making it about herself again with her constant apologies. The texts didn't stop. They kept coming. Texts, calls, even emails. Each one was a new plea for forgiveness. She claimed she didn't mean for things to go wrong, that she thought it would be a special moment for everyone, and that she was sorry. It was as if she couldn't understand why people were angry, or why her actions had been so hurtful. By the end of the week, my patience was wearing thin. My husband had already decided he wanted nothing to do with the best man. They had been best friends for years, but after what happened, my husband cut off all contact. He was done with him, but he made it clear that if I wanted to maintain a friendship with the best woman, it was up to me. "I'm done with him," he said firmly, "but I won't stop you from being friends with her if you want." I felt conflicted. I missed my best friend, but the way she had ruined our wedding made it hard to forgive her. Despite my mixed feelings, I agreed to meet her for coffee. Maybe talking in person would help clear things up or give me some closure. The day of the meeting, I arrived early and waited at a small cafe. When she walked in, she looked like a mess. Her clothes were wrinkled and her hair was a disheveled mess. She was drenched from the rain, her face red and tired. She sat down across from me, her eyes avoiding mine, and stared at her cup of coffee. She started talking as soon as she sat down. She went on and on about how she didn't mean for the wedding to be ruined. She said she thought it would be a great moment for everyone and that she was genuinely sorry. She mentioned that she was overwhelmed by her feelings and that she had always wanted to propose to the best man at a special event, and it just felt right at that moment. As she spoke, I could feel a mix of anger and pity. She was still trying to justify her actions and make it seem like she was the one who had been wronged. I listened, nodding occasionally, but inside I was thinking about how she had completely overshadowed the most important day of my life. I didn't expect this to blow up like it did, she said, her voice breaking. I thought people would be happy for us. I didn't want to take away from your day. Please don't let this ruin our friendship. I tried to stay calm, but it was hard. It felt like she was still not taking full responsibility for what happened. I told her that I would think about it, but deep down, I knew our friendship had changed. I pretended to accept her apology, but I was already planning my next move. For a good amount of time, we did not speak much, nor did we hang out. We met up a few times over the course of a year, but even then, we barely had stuff to talk about. Not a single meeting went by that we didn't get into an argument about the wedding, and with each passing meeting, I realized we weren't really friends anymore. About a year into that, life took an unexpected turn for my husband and me. We found out we were expecting our first child. We had always wanted a family, and this news was the silver lining after everything that had happened. We decided to keep the pregnancy a secret until the right time. One day, I got an invitation in the mail. It was from the former best woman and the best man. They were getting married. I was surprised they even sent an invitation after everything. My husband and I discussed it at length. I don't want to go, he said, but if you feel like you need to, I'll support you and go too. I thought about it. Part of me wanted to ignore the invitation, but another part saw it as an opportunity. It could be a chance to get back at them in a way that felt justifiable. We decided we would go. It would be a way to move past the hurt, but also to make a statement. The day of their wedding arrived, and the difference between their wedding and ours was striking. Their venue was smaller, and the guest list was noticeably shorter. It was clear that many people had turned their backs on them. It was a stark contrast to the grand celebration we had. During the reception, I waited for the right moment. The room was filled with an uneasy silence. People were polite but distant. When the time felt right, I stood up, my husband beside me. We have some exciting news, I announced to the crowd. We're having a baby. The room fell quiet. A few guests clapped, but the mood was heavy. The best woman and the best man looked over at us, their faces a mix of shock and anger. The bride's face turned red and she clenched her fists. She stormed over to me as soon as I sat down, her eyes burning with fury. This was supposed to be our day, she said in a low, furious tone. I shrugged, trying to keep my composure. You wanted to share the moment, remember? I thought we'd both get a chance to celebrate. She glared at me but couldn't argue. The damage was done, and the mood of the wedding was forever changed. It wasn't the celebration they had hoped for. As the years went by, there was little to no contact between us. The once close friendship had dissolved into mere memories. I heard through mutual acquaintances that the best man and the best woman's marriage had fallen apart. Rumor had it he had cheated on her and taken all her money. One day, out of nowhere, I received a message from her. The message was a desperate plea for help. I need a place to stay. He left me, took everything. I have nowhere to go. Can I crash at your place for a while? I stared at the message, feeling a mix of emotions. I didn't want to be cruel, but I also felt like I had already done enough. I took a deep breath and sent a reply. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I think it's best we keep our distance. I hit send and then blocked her number. The past was behind me, and I wanted to keep it that way. The revenge I had planned had come full circle, and it felt like justice had been served. The best woman and the best man were no longer part of my life, and I was ready to move on. After blocking her number, I hoped that would be the end of it, but a few days later, my phone buzzed with an unfamiliar number. Reluctantly, I answered, and to my surprise, it was her again. Please, just hear me out one more time. I'm at rock bottom, and I don't have anyone else. I know I messed up, but this is really bad. I need your help. I sighed, trying to stay calm. What more do you want from me? I've already told you I can't help. She kept pushing. I get it, okay? I really do, but think about what we had. We were best friends. I know I made a mistake, but everyone else has turned their backs on me. I'm all alone, and I don't have anyone left to turn to. I didn't respond immediately. Her desperation was almost overwhelming. She continued to send messages, each one more pleading than the last. Finally, she called again. When I answered, she was frantic. You don't understand. I'm completely broke, and he left me with nothing. I'm desperate. I know it was my fault, but I swear I've learned my lesson. Please don't do this to me. You're the only person who can help me now. I was about to hang up when she said something that crossed the line. I'm just asking for a chance. If you don't help me, I'll have nowhere to go. I'd even be willing to forgive you for ruining my wedding, but only if you agree to help me. You owe me that much. The words hit me like a punch. She was trying to guilt me into helping her by bringing up the past and turning it against me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. That's it, I said, my voice cold. I'm done. I won't listen to any more of your excuses or demands. I ended the call and blocked the number for good. The final straw had been been crossed, and I knew there was no going back. The friendship was officially over, and I was done with the drama.